everyone. Welcome to Wednesday live stream. And I'm excited today. I'm talking about, let me get my notes in front of me, the top 5 musician strategies to boost your music career. And those of you that are new to me, I'm Carrie Cole, founder and director of carriecole.com. And I run a small label services company out in New York City and work with artists to help them really manifest their dream career and work with them in vocal coaching and technique. I founded a method called the Cole Vocal Method that is a biomechanical method that improves your voice like no tomorrow. And you can find out more about that on carriecole.com under the Cole Vocal Method. And I do a lot of artist development. I do a lot of A&R development, old school A&R development of matching the music to the artist, really being able to pull out of them who they really are and help with sound and direction and direct the record and that kind of thing. And then we also do branding and marketing, but more from a strategy point of view, which I'm going to be talking about today. So a quick announcement. I wanted to point you guys to my Step Up to the Spotlight program, which is our 6-module program in artist development. So if you're really looking to up-level your career and kickstart your career, this is the program for you. It's a 6-module program with short videos that walk you through artist development really on steroids. Everything from how to make music that stands out in the marketplace to how to build a strong brand, how to elevate your music career to the next level, how to build your plan and build your team. And it's the ultimate kickstart for independent artists looking to up-level. So go to carriecole.com/step-up or to carriecole.com or the links. You'll find it everywhere. Let's dive in. So, and it's on sale right now. It's on sale right now. So get yourself a seat in it. And those of you who've done Step Up before, this is a brand new, as of last year, I redid the entire program. So it's brand new, all updated. So in today's conversation, also written out on the blog of the week over at carriecole.com, I wanted to give you a quick peek of our Artist Sanctuary Membership Mastermind for March. So we do a monthly mastermind for musicians that's global, that really works on, first you do Step Up, then you come into the Artist Sanctuary, and we really work on your career. And this mastermind this month, I'm presenting the top musician strategies that artists are using to really grow their career. Music industry is changing rapidly as we speak, and artists are reinventing their brands and careers, really taking ownership of their music into their hands. James Blake has been talking about that on socials. He's on that journey right now of leaving the major label. And he's sharing, if you're not following him, go follow him, because he's sharing on social media how he is transitioning away from the major label capture, I would call it. And more artists are reclaiming their creative freedom and carving their own path. And teams, and building their own teams on their own terms. And while it's daunting to accomplish, it's also a very exciting time as an independent artist, because you can control your own content, and that's good and bad. It's like, it's important to get feedback. So you're making the best music possible. It's not just kind of living in a vacuum. It's good to get feedback to know that you're on track. And if there's any tweaking, I'm tweaking a record right now. It's actually a cover record that I'm working with this artist out of England. And it's a cover record that's kind of an in-between record of her next album. And while we're working on the next album, we're working on the cover album. And there were a couple places that we wanted to go back and tweak some things to make some improvements that will be significant. They will be significant improvements and could make a huge difference in the ability for sync for that album in particular. So make sure that you're getting feedback. So in 2025, musicians are adopting strategies to enhance their success. Some of them are familiar strategies. Some of them are new. Some have been around a while and are still proven to deliver, and others follow newer trends. By staying informed about these trends and adapting the right strategy for you, artists can really maximize their potential. And I think I'm just wondering, can you guys hear me? I'm just wondering if this whole time I was recording and I forgot to set my. Can you guys hear me on YouTube? I know you can hear me on Instagram. Can you hear me on YouTube? Let me know, will you? I just realized that my sound, I was recording and then I hopped on, but I'm not hearing my mic and my monitor the way I normally do. So I'm kind of okay. Well, anyway, if it's a botch on YouTube, just go over to Instagram. So the top 5 strategies I'm talking about today are the cover song strategy, the power of collaborations, content strategy, creating content that goes viral, the power of building your own team as a strategy, like what James Blake is doing now, and the power of building your own community. So let's dive in and then we'll open it up for questions at the end. And as always, the subject of the live stream I do every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern is on the blog. So if you're a reader or if you like to see the points written out, they're over there on the blog at carriecole.com. So the first one is the cover strategy. So everyone loves a great version of a well-known cover song. And that's why American Idol became so popular, because people really love to hear different versions of covers with different voices and different interpretations and whatnot. Let me just see if I can fix the microphone in there. It's something that I'm wanting to do. Audio. Oh, no, I think it is. It's just I'm not hearing it. Okay. Somebody on YouTube, you can hear me. Okay, beautiful. A cover strategy is still a very viable way that well-known artists use, labels, management companies use to really grow the audience because of that popularity of that song, right? That, people want to hear a new voice sing it, right? And recent top artists have climbed to stardom this way. Teddy Swims, Benson Boone was on American Idol, which is, cover songs. Jack Ross, Joseph Solomon's climbing. Angelina Jordan has made quite a career starting with covers when she was 7. Larkin Poe in the beginning did a lot of covers. Alan Stone did a lot of covers, still does. Eva Cassidy built her career on covers. She tried doing an album of originals and it really didn't fly. But if you haven't heard of Eva Cassidy, you must go listen. She's one of the most extraordinary singers. Unfortunately, she passed away more than a decade ago, right as she was getting ready to do a very big album with Blue Note, but died of ovarian cancer, I believe, or a couple things, I think, together. Extraordinary voice, but her whole career was on doing these really incredible, timeless versions of covers. So covers is really a great strategy. And so what I always say, and what I'm talking to my musicians this month about in the mastermind, is rather than try to do all of these strategies. Oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to do that. As you listen to me today and you hear the different strategies, you want to select the strategy that is the easiest, the path of least resistance. Like, you love singing covers. You shouldn't be doing anything that you really don't love. And it doesn't mean that you're gonna not have to work hard or set up your studio and there's going to be things that you don't want to do. It doesn't mean that. It means you want to pick the right strategy that you're really jazzed about and that is something you want to do, because you're going to have to do it for a while before you're really going to benefit from it, and you want to be able to commit to it. Like, I used to love singing covers. I mean, loved it, so if I was still trying to be an artist today, that might be a strategy for me. But it needs to be something that you really love. And keep in mind that YouTube is a search engine. It's Google, basically. So it can really help you grow quickly when you use the right keywords and you know what you're doing. and you can tag on along. There's a whole strategy to that strategy in of itself. Collaborations is another strategy that artists are using. Collaborations with other artists can help grow your audience and career to maximize the impact. You really want to work on having some solid branding and marketing, like you really want to be ready to go. And really get your visual branding together. And you want to be able to, if you have a good following on social media, I would say this is a good avenue for you. If you're really struggling to grow your following, it depends. I mean, I do have an artist that doesn't have a big following, but knows a lot of people. And so um, he's doing some collaborations, but even with his small audience, sorry guys, that's where it was. That's where my sound was. Sorry about that. Even with a small audience, he is able to get some traction. Like, it's a good idea for him. Again, when you're looking at strategies, you want to decide what strategy is right for you, right? So collaborating with artists from different genres, backgrounds, cultures can help a musician grow and develop their sound, appealing to a wider audience than you would on your own. And sharing the stage with other accomplished musicians can boost your image and business opportunities and put you out in front of different audiences. Many musicians who are over on TikTok are implementing strategies over there with collaborating with influencers to create all kinds of things for new releases and engaging in virtual concerts. And live streaming virtual group shows is another way to really collaborate. And then reaching out to Spotify playlisters, and collaborating on songs with other musicians, can really be an incredible way to work that strategy and get you in front of new audiences. That is also a strategy that labels use. Viral content. So in 2025, musicians are really focused on creating high quality content to attract followers and grow a fan base. And if you're there's all kinds of marketing strategies and whatnot, which I'm not going to get into, in terms of each platform has, different marketing strategy and different algorithms and whatnot. But for the sake of the pure content itself, if you're posting and you're not getting a lot of feedback, then you haven't landed on the right content yet, right? So there's a lot of reasons, why that platform is going to show your material. There's a lot behind the scenes, and you can go study courses on each platform because they all are slightly different. But really look at other artists and their content, and artists that are getting a lot of feedback besides the famous, like maybe more people that are right ahead of you or have a bigger following than you, who have a good engagement on social media. What are they doing? What are they talking about? You can, it takes time to research other content, but it's so valuable because you can really get a lot of ideas. And a good content plan showcases your personality, your music, the behind the scenes moment, the stories behind the songs. You can leverage the new features, like Instagram stories is doing really well now. The reels are still doing well. TikTok challenges, there's all kinds of, again, each platform has its kind of own thing. And it's essential when you're working with viral content or trying to create viral content, to really interact with fans regularly. So we respond pretty much to every single comment. That boosts the algorithm. There are tricks and techniques for, what to do right before you post that help, commenting on other posts, that kind of thing, using hashtags or keywords. And short form content, particularly IG Reels or YouTube Shorts, is also really helps to grow a wider audience, especially among Gen Z viewers. The fourth strategy is building your own teams. So, and I want to point to James Blake, because if you're not following him, go and follow him, because he's talking about it and he's really putting on his artist advocate hat and really helping people to follow along in the journey with him as he leaves the major label. And there's a lot of really important information in there that you're going to want to know as you move through your career. He had a 12-year major label deal. He's been outspoken, speaking out his journey and rethinking how being a musician in today's world can work better. And he's rebuilding his career and how his music gets out there with the Indify platform, with companies that are on the Indify platform, like Good Boy, Stellar Music, STEM, which he signed with right inside the Indify platform. So go and check out what he's saying and do a little research there, and then check out the platform. But he basically is saying he's building his own team, because he said before last year, he said, I was an artist who's very much buried my head in the sand in terms of business. And when he really started looking at the machinations of what was going on behind each part of the industry, looking at the financial statements, he saw that there were a lot of unethical parts of that, major label model that are responsible for really a massive transfer of wealth away from the artist. And so in his research, and again, read his, I think it's his pinned Instagram post, he's basically saying that the best place he's found is Indify, and puts how it puts you in touch with music services, so you can see on a leaderboard measuring the real value of those companies is all very transparent transparent in actual streaming figures. So, and that may be a little higher level than some of you are ready for, but follow along with what he's talking about and watch what he's doing, because he's leaving the major label. He's building his own team, and sharing with you along the way. So the key takeaways are to really build your own team, to start to look at your music as a business, as a small business. You are a musicpreneur, you are an entrepreneur, and start taking it seriously. And, for those of you that are, kudos to you. Every penny counts, and it is a complex business. And so really knowing what you're doing is important. I mean, the first thing is getting out great music. That's number one, guys, before, if you're like, you can study all this stuff, but make sure you're on course for really working on your music and making sure that you have superior music in the marketplace, and every single day working that music. Like, that is the most important thing. But then when you're ready and you're going, and also make sure that you meet with someone like myself who does A&R, who's going to help in the direction of that record, help you skip over a couple of records in the quality of that record so that you can stand out in the marketplace. Because with 100,000 songs being released every day on Spotify, which is wild, and probably 80% of those are mediocre, what can you do to get in that top 20%? And so it's very important that you get feedback before you put the music out. I know artists like to kind of go into their cave. I did the same thing. You like to go into your cave and you like to just put it all together and then put it out and cross your fingers and hope. But that's not what big artists do. They get feedback on their material. Matter of fact, when Coldplay was making X, Y, and Z, they, and I'm sure they do it on every record, but this story was, they showed it to their team, and, people of trusted advisors and, good ears. And the feedback that they got was that they really didn't have the record they needed. So they went back to the drawing board, and I think rewrote and re-recorded the whole album. It's very important because, at first when you're putting out an album, it's like, it's just such an achievement to get it out, right? And it feels really good. But if you want that album to really do something for you, you have to make sure that you're, that the music, the sound of the music is really landing genre-wise, or in that mix of genres, and that it has that special thing. And that's really an art, right? And so if you're interested in that, go check out my A&R session. And if you want feedback, get feedback before you put it out while there's still time to tweak things, okay? And then the fifth strategy, so fourth strategy was really building the team. And I didn't get into the specifics of that very much. Getting into that in the March mastermind, if you want to come and join us, it's actually tomorrow. It's $49 a month, $59 a month, $49 when we have our special. If you guys want that coupon, I'll give it to you. You have to write into info@Carrie Cole. Tell them that you heard me say it on the live stream. But come and join us tomorrow because I'm really getting deep into the strategies and I'll get deeper into team. Building community is one of the strategies. So for instance, James Blake has his new album completely released already, recorded. And instead of focusing on putting that album out, he is waiting. He's going to do the transition from the label to his own team and focus on building his own community first, because most of his community, like he doesn't have those email addresses. That's all. Not that the label has email addresses, but his audience is not on email where he can communicate directly to him. So he's going to focus on building that community. And many artists today that are smart really focus on the community and then put the album out rather than putting the album out thinking that will build the community. If you're just putting new music out, yes, that you have to get that music out first. But after that first foray, that first project, it's really important to be thinking about it in terms of business so that you can move forward with monetizing your audience. And when you have an engaged audience that it's time, right? One of the strongest strategies to emerge from the DIY indie movement that really started with Amanda Palmer back in the day with Emily White, who's a manager. She has a management company now. She's not managing artists anymore, but her team is. And they started back in 25 years ago when the indie movement was really starting and people were making records in their bedrooms and their living rooms. They started that transition from the major label, building her community, and they were really the first people to do it. That ability to connect directly with fans and build a highly engaged community. So artists are building communities on platforms like Patreon or with the band, but also they're building them inside their own privately hosted communities using membership app inside their website, which is even a better, I think, opportunity because then no one's dipping into the pie. And Patreon doesn't really help you grow. But some people don't want to have to manage the whole thing themselves. So there's advantages and disadvantages to each. But spend time thinking about where and how you can grow your community, how you can get better at that. Let's open it up for questions. And be sure to join me every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, pretty much every single Wednesday. Every now and then, like I took January off, but I'm back. Yeah, come and join us for our Artist Sanctuary membership. Any questions from the community, post them in the chat, in the comments. Let me know, pick my brain while I'm here. If not, it's great to spend this time with you. I always love to speak directly with you when I can and hear about, what's going on in your world, what you're working on, what projects you're working on, and be able to offer help. For those of you new to me, I'm a holistic and celebrity vocal coach, more interested in helping independent artists. And I founded a vocal method called the Co-Vocal Method, and I'm a music mentor and artist development expert. So it doesn't look like there's any questions today. I think it's a quiet day. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll stay for another moment in case somebody's typing in the chat. And what else do I want to say? I think the thing with strategy is really to pick the strategy that is the next best step for you. Don't try to do everything because then you splatter, right? So if you have a good engagement on social media, then it might be time to do collaborations, or it might be time, um, to step into that, or start doing cover songs, in between your original albums, or as a strategy to grow, because people are searching for those songs. It can also be a good strategy for sync, and sync is another one of the strategies that I'm talking about. But all of these things require time, significant time, and investment in resources, and the time to really research how to do these things the best. So I think it's really important to be smart about it. And if you want help, you can always set up a music review with me, or a vocal analysis. If you want feedback, just a 30-minute session with me, and we can really get to the heart of it. And I can advise you on particularly where you are, what would be a good next step for you. Um, Hey, Gabby. She says, where can we get feedback on songs? I think you mentioned a program that you have that you can help, and at what stage would be good? Just a rough stripped down song before any production. Yeah, you can set up a music review with me. It's a 30-minute music review, and however many songs you send me, I mean, reasonably, up to, like, if you want to send 10 songs, I'll give you an overview, a rough overview. If you want more detail, send me a couple songs and I'll get detailed on them. So you just go to my website at carriecole.com and click on the Work with Carrie page. And I have a little video for each session that tells you kind of basically what I just said, and some more information about that session. And we do sales, I think 4 times a year. We'll have a sale coming up in the summer. Oh, we have a sale coming up on World Voice Day, which is April 16th. And we do a 30% off. And then those of you that are in the Artist Sanctuary, you get 25% off all year. And then we do 2 sales a year where we do 50% off. The next one is in August, and then there's one in Black Friday. And let's see. And yes, we do have a signature songwriting circle. I haven't picked the date yet for when I'm going to run it again. We didn't run it last year. It is an incredible program if you really want to dive into songwriting and A&R. Dory, no question. Just an appreciation post. We love you. Grateful to have found you. I love you too, Dory. Thank you for posting that. You're welcome. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, thanks for spending this time with me today. And I will see you next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern. All my love, all my support to all of you. I'm cheering you on. Go and make that great music, guys. I'm telling you, the world needs it and needs you, and do not delay. All right? Go to work. I'll see you soon. Bye.